So this is the High Street, Denbigh North Wales, otherwise known as Top of Town as we call it. And situated on the top of town is the statue of Morton Stanley, bit controversial character. But there he is, M Stanley, in the classic pose of when he went out in search of Dr. Livingstone, took his hat off, outstretched his arm and said the famous words, "Dr. Livingstone, I presume." And there he is. So Dr. Livingstone was met by M Stanley after a long search, and M Stanley was actually born and grew up in Denbigh, and I'll show you exactly where he was born and exactly where he grew up, because a lot of people get it wrong. Okay, so this is Denbigh Castle, or Castell Denbigh as it's pronounced in Welsh, and there it is in all its splendour. Now just to the left is the little white cottage there. Now a lot of people think M Stanley was born there, but he wasn't born there, but he had connections to it because he grew up there. But a lot of people think that he was actually born there, but he wasn't. Just to the right of the castle, just by here, there was a little cottage which no longer exists today, but by here was a little cottage, and that's where he was actually born. So he was born there and he grew up there in that little white cottage. And there's a bit of a clue, there's a plaque here, so I'll show you now. It says there, you see, born near here, Morton Stanley, 1841 to 1904. As I say, there was a cottage there which no longer exists, but that's where he was born and that's where he grew up. And he got to a certain age where they couldn't look after him, so they put him in a workhouse in St Asaph. He was there for a few years and he escaped, and he went off on his travels in search of Dr. Livingstone. Later the workhouse in St Asaph became a hospital, and they named it after M Stanley. They called it the M Stanley Hospital. So that's it. So that's Denbigh North Wales. Morton Stanley was born there and he grew up there.